You guys, I have spent the past hour and a half just laying in bed reading Daisy Jones and the Six. I did not think I was going to enjoy this book whatsoever. Like, I thought I was going to struggle to get through this book, but I'm already like 106 pages in and I'm really enjoying it. The writing has been super addicting and it's very entertaining. Like, I honestly don't care about the 1970s. It sounds kind of wrong, but I just really have no interest in that time period, in that decade, which is why I thought that I wouldn't like this book at all, because it takes place in the 1970s and late 1960s as well. But it's actually very, very entertaining. The author is doing a really good my cat's tail. The author is doing a really good job of making you feel like you're going back in time and actually living that time period, which was filled with rock and roll, drugs, and so many other things that I probably am not allowed to mention on YouTube. But the writing has just captivated my entire attention, and the only reason I'm pausing my reading right now is to go make some coffee. But I'm really liking this book, you guys. Who am I right now? I mean, I still have like 230 pages left in the book, so my opinion can very well change, but honestly, I'm just like captivated by the storytelling so far. And I love how it's interview format, so it feels like I'm flying through the book, and it's just, again, it makes the book feel more entertaining than reading just like a straight, I don't know, romance book or straight novel. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's still very early in the morning, so I'm not fully awake, hence why I need to go make some coffee right now. I'm kind of curious to check out the show on Amazon Prime now. Who would have thought? Let's go make some coffee because I need to finish waking up. I've literally just been laying in bed since the moment I woke up this morning. So let's go make some coffee. So tired today, you guys. I swear the sun is just straight medicine. The sun feels so good. I feel like no one talks about how pregnancy insomnia is a very real thing. Obviously, everyone talks about how you're always so tired during pregnancy, which is completely true, but I've never heard people talk about like pregnancy insomnia, how you physically cannot fall asleep at night when you're pregnant. Obviously, it doesn't happen to every pregnant woman, and I guess it hasn't happened to any of the pregnant women that I know because no one ever warned me. But I found out about pregnancy insomnia in my first trimester, and I was very surprised to learn that was a thing. My pregnancy insomnia was really bad during the first trimester. Like, I literally could not sleep for honestly more than 4 hours straight. My pregnancy insomnia was I know, mama. I would literally just lay in bed for hours wide awake. But I also was very sick during my first trimester. Like, I was literally vomiting every single day, multiple times a day, and you would think that my body would sleep since I was physically exhausted and mentally exhausted, but no, I barely slept during my first trimester. And then pregnancy insomnia went away during my second trimester, got some of my energy back, but now that I'm in my third trimester, it's completely made a comeback and it's a real thing, pregnancy insomnia. There's literally nothing causing it aside from me being pregnant. Like, why is this zooming in? Like, I'm not anxious, I'm not stressed, I'm feeling pretty healthy. There's literally no reason for me not to sleep, but here I am not sleeping. And I can't nap during the day because I physically can't nap. Not that I don't have the time to nap, because luckily I do have the time to nap with the type of job that I have, YouTube obviously. My body physically just does not know how to nap, and I've never been a huge napper, so that just leaves me feeling super tired all through the day. Maybe it's my body's way of preparing me to wake up every 2 hours when our son is here, because that's literally what happens. I literally will wake up every 2 hours and I feel baby boy kicking. I go to the bathroom, obviously, because when you're in your third trimester, you go to the bathroom like 50 times a day. And then I just lay there awake. And then the cycle starts up all over again. Pregnancy insomnia is fun. It's kind of annoying when people tell me, oh, you should enjoy sleep while you still can. What sleep? I haven't enjoyed sleep since I got pregnant. Some people sleep a lot during their pregnancies and some people don't. I guess I'm just one of those people that doesn't sleep or can't sleep. It's been a fun time over here. Watching a squirrel eat, and it's like the most beautiful thing ever. Animals are so cute. So cute. Just got out the shower and started a load of laundry. I'm actually going to do a little face mask because for some reason my face has been breaking out. Not fully breaking out, but I've just been getting these little bumps all over my face. And I think it's because I haven't done a face mask in almost a month, and I normally do them like once a week. So I'm long overdue for one. And I always just use the Youth to the People Super Clay Purify and Clear Power Mask. And I thought it would be fun to answer some questions while I apply this face mask. A few days ago on Instagram, I asked you guys to submit any questions that you had for me. The majority of them were pregnancy related, which surprised me. I'm surprised that so many of you guys even like care about my pregnancy. I think it's sweet though. I thought I would answer some questions while I apply this face mask, and then I'll answer the rest of the questions probably during my next nesting vlog, which should be up sometime next week. My cat's trying to get in. The first question, when are you due? I'm actually due in April. I haven't shared my exact due date online, or honestly, I haven't even shared it with many people in like my life because babies rarely come on their due date. Even my doctor in my first pregnancy confirmation appointment, she was like, don't marry your due date because we just use it as an estimate for their growth. So I haven't shared my exact due date with anyone aside from maybe like 2 people in my life. Yeah, I just don't want people like texting me on my due date or putting pressure on me asking if the baby's here yet. Like, the baby will come when the baby's ready. So I'm due at the end of April. Baby boy's early or on time. He'll be born in April. If he decides to come later, then he'll be born in May. What is something being pregnant has taught you? Honestly, how incredible our bodies are. I have a bigger appreciation for my own body now that I've been pregnant. Not to say that I didn't value my body before I got pregnant, because I obviously did, but I have a new like appreciation for our bodies solely for the fact that we are capable of growing a whole human being and a whole organ like the placenta and still get shit done in our everyday life. Like, we're just so incredible. And when you're pregnant, you get to see your body go through all of these changes. You get to literally feel your baby grow, and my baby's kicking right now, actually. Baby boy's kicking. And I just think it's so incredible. I have a newfound appreciation for my body, if that makes sense. Like, that's literally one thing that pregnancy has taught me, is just appreciating my body a lot more. And I know that a lot of females struggle with all the changes that happen when you're pregnant with your body, but honestly, I've just embraced those changes and embraced the fact that I gained weight, embraced the fact that, you know, I have aches and pains here and there. At the end of the day, I am just just extremely grateful that I, one, was able to get pregnant, and two, have been able to carry my baby and provide it nutrition and health and all that stuff. Like, I don't know, I'm just in awe of the female body. Like, we're amazing, and we definitely deserve more credit because our bodies are just incredible at the end of the day. Like, females are just badass. How's your pregnancy going so far? Are you going to miss being pregnant? I've had a pretty good pregnancy, aside from the like morning sickness and feeling super sick during the first trimester, which is pretty common. A lot of women feel extremely sick during the first trimester. I mentioned this before, but like during my first trimester, I was literally vomiting every single day, multiple times a day. I even lost weight. So the first trimester was really hard for me. I also had really bad migraines, and I did not know how I was going to survive this entire pregnancy. Luckily, morning sickness did go away in the second trimester, and since then I've still experienced like normal pregnancy symptoms like fatigue. I am a little anemic. I still get migraines here and there, heartburn, just like normal pregnancy symptoms that you would expect to have when you're pregnant. But for the most part, my pregnancy has been really good. My blood pressure is always perfect when I go to the doctors. I pass the diabetes test. All my blood work is pretty good, aside from my iron, of course, but anemia is pretty common in pregnancies. I honestly can't complain. I've had a pretty good pregnancy. And am I going to miss being pregnant? There are days where I do think I'm going to miss being pregnant, and then there are other days when I'm super tired, nothing fits, or I'm frustrated for no reason, that I'm like, okay, I'm so glad that I'm almost done and I'm at like the final stretch of this pregnancy. One thing I will miss is feeling my baby boy's kicks and just knowing that he's like safe in my womb versus I feel like I'm going to worry about every little thing once I give birth to him. So yeah, I feel like I am going to miss being pregnant. I'm also glad pregnancy is only 9 months or 10 months depending on how long your pregnancy is. But we're also planning on having more kids, so I will be pregnant again, God willing. I've enjoyed this pregnancy for the most part. I've only answered like 3 or 4 questions and I'm already almost done with this mask. But are you planning on having an unmedicated or medicated birth? I haven't really shared my birth plan with anyone aside from my husband, obviously, and our care team. I am planning on having a unmedicated birth. I'm not going to provide too many details about my birth plan just because I know that a lot of people have opinions on unmedicated versus medicated birth, and a lot of people are passionate on both sides of the argument, and I also don't want people's opinions on unmedicated or medicated. I have my own reasons for wanting an unmedicated birth. I came to that decision before I even became pregnant, so it's something that I have always wanted. So yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say on that. When I give birth, I'll definitely share more regarding my birth plan. A lot of you guys asked me if I am anxious or scared about giving birth. This is like drying at this point. One second, you guys. That look crazy. Okay, why does it look like I missed an entire spot? This is why I can't multitask. This is probably the last question that I'll answer in this vlog, and then I'll answer the rest of the questions during my next nesting vlog, just because I don't want this video to be 100 years long. Am I anxious about giving birth? No, I'm not anxious about giving birth at all. I feel like society teaches females to be afraid of giving birth. I mean, if you think about it, when a woman is giving birth in like a TV show or in a movie, all you see is her screaming her head off in pain, which we all know giving birth is painful. Like, that is not news to anyone, but you very rarely see females having peaceful births on TV or in movies. And I think a lot of women see that and automatically assume that their birth is going to be as traumatic as the births they see on TV shows and in movies. And I'm not saying that there aren't women in real life who unfortunately do have traumatic birth experiences, because things can and oftentimes do go wrong during labor, but I have done a lot of research and I've come across a lot of positive birth experiences, and I'm choosing to surround myself with that positivity instead of focusing on the things that could possibly go wrong. I think it's necessary to talk about both. I think it's necessary to talk about good positive birth experiences as well as not so positive positive birth experiences because that's how you learn. But I also think that it's important for us females to realize that everyone gives birth differently. Our bodies are just so incredible. I trust my body to know what it has to do. I trust myself that I'm capable of handling anything that comes my way, and I have the most supportive husband in the world. I know he's going to be amazing. Fun fact, I don't think I've ever shared this, but he was in the army as a combat medic. During one of his rotations, he had to train in childbirth, and he's actually helped delivered a couple babies. Granted, he's no longer in the medical field. It kind of makes me feel at peace to know that he, I don't know, knows what's going to happen or has some idea of what's going to happen, and he has such a calming presence about him that I know is just going to help me get through whatever happens. Again, I definitely think it's important to do your own research, become familiar with the process of giving birth, prepare your body physically and mentally to give birth, making sure you have a good team surrounding you that's going to support you, that's going to uplift you during the labor process, and trusting yourself, your body. I personally believe in God, so I know that God is going to be present during our labor, and I feel so calm about that and so at peace. I'm literally not anxious at all, and if things go wrong, then we will roll with the punches as things are happening. I'm literally just surrendering control and letting my body do its thing and trusting that everything is going to work out. That was a long answer to that question. I'm going to let this dry. I don't know why I missed a spot right here, but I did. I like how the author is showing that even though people may live the same experience, like they may literally go through the same thing at the exact same time, hi, they still will have their own version of those events. Every character has been probably in the same room and has experienced the same things, yet they each have different versions of those events. So it just shows you how no one ever knows the truth between a group of people. Like, the truth lies somewhere in the middle, and the author, and the author is doing a great job of showing that in the book. Oh my god, I'm almost done with the book and I just didn't even realize it. I'm less than 100 pages away from finishing this book. I might be able to finish it tonight. Also, am I supposed to like Daisy's character? Because I low-key don't like her character, or Billy's for that matter. Am I supposed to like them? I'm conflicted. So you're telling me that these characters aren't actually real and that this band never actually existed? I don't believe you. Wow, you guys, I absolutely loved this book, and I take back everything I said about Taylor Jenkins Reid prior to this video. This is why I think it's so important to never judge a book by its cover. You'll never know if you'll actually like a book until you actually read it, and I never thought in a million years that I would have enjoyed this book as much as I actually did. While reading this book, I honestly felt like I was in the 1970s with all of the characters. I felt like I was living their experiences with them. I'm legit having a hard time right now believing that these characters aren't real and that nothing in this book actually happened in real life. Taylor Jenkins Reid really did that, and she did an amazing job with all the characters, did an amazing job setting the story, getting the reader to really believe that everything that happened in the book was real. Like, I'm low-key kind of mad that these characters never actually existed and that this is not based on a true story, because I loved it so much. I'm not gonna lie though, the ending did feel a little bit underwhelming for me. Also, spoiler, if you haven't read this book, just skip this part of the video. I felt like the band kind of just disbanded so abruptly when they were literally dominating the music industry. Like, I understand why they disbanded, and they truly needed to disband, but it kind of made it hard for me to believe that their record label would just let them walk away. way, especially since they were under contract. Like, that part kind of ruined it for me. We all know how shady record labels are, and the idea that they just allowed this band that was killing the musical charts, that were literally dominating the music industry, selling out stadiums, that they will allow them to just disband and walk away with no consequences. It's kind of hard to believe, but obviously this book isn't based on a real story or anything, so it makes sense. But the ending did feel a little underwhelming. For that reason, I'm struggling to give it a rating. Like, I low-key want to give this book 5 stars, but I'm debating between a 4.5 or a 5-star rating. So I'm gonna hold off from sharing the rating that I have for this book until I've thought about it for a few days, because I really feel like I need to digest everything about this book. But it was so freaking good, and I can totally see myself rereading it. And now I'm definitely going to be checking out the show on Amazon Prime. I'm like so excited to watch this show now. If you haven't read Daisy Jones and the Six, go read it. Don't be like me, assuming that you won't like it, because you never know, you might end up loving it like I did. But with that being said, I'm going to end off this vlog here. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you a part of my little channel here on YouTube, and see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.